Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're out at a flip property that I just picked up. We're gonna tour the property today, basically go over what we're gonna be doing to the property. This one, if you can't already tell just from looking at the exterior, it's a little different than the product types that you're used to seeing on this channel. Usually we're getting into just very run down, beat up properties full of trash, where this one, you might be able to just clean it out and move into it right away, actually. The other reason it is not our typical flip that you see on this channel is due to the price point. We usually stay away from higher priced homes, and this one definitely falls into that category. We paid $800,000 for this house right here, and I'm gonna get into in this video exactly why we decided to go for this one and kind of get out of our regular buy box. And then we'll also talk about just what we are gonna need to do to the property along with the ARV. Let's go inside and take a look. What you're looking at here is a roughly 3,000 square foot house. It sits on 3 levels. We're on the main floor now. There's a basement, and then we also have kind of a loft area as well. Did I mention that this place sits on 25 acres? It's pretty amazing, and it's an absolute gorgeous property. I originally was planning on walking this whole property with you, but it is raining cats and dogs out there, which, hey, by the way, this isn't the only video I'm gonna be making on this property, so I'll come back here when it's nice out. We're gonna get into also some things we're gonna do to the land. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see when that video does pop, and then also any other videos that we do come out with. So before we get into the scope of work, I kind of just want to tour around the property a little bit and take a deeper look and see what all we think we need to do. So the first thing that I'm noticing is that it definitely needs a full interior paint job. I'm gonna spin you around right here. The walls are pretty dirty. I think they had a couple of big dogs running through this house. You got your standard just kind of wear and tear throughout here, and as you can see here, the walls are just a little dinged up. So it is gonna need a full repaint on the interior, but there's really not a ton of sheetrock throughout this place. I mean, again, we're only on the first floor here, but most of it is a gorgeous log home. So we're not gonna need to touch any of these logs. So it looks like this main floor consists of a powder bath here. We kind of have a little shoe room off the back entry here. I don't know if you'd call it a shoe room, kind of a mud room, but there's no washer and dryer in there. We walk directly into the kitchen, and then a big living room area that's amazing. And I don't know how tall these ceilings are, maybe 20 feet. Gorgeous room, tongue and groove ceilings. I don't know, I just really like this place, and not to mention this amazing showpiece of a fireplace. In addition, the last thing is on this floor is this master bedroom, which again, a master on the main is always, I think, a good thing. So master bedroom isn't crazy big, relatively small actually. They have a decent master bath here. I wish that was a double vanity. We're not gonna do anything to this bathroom because it's just, I mean, it looks like it was freshly redone within the last few years. And for what we're looking to do, this will be just fine. So again, kind of like we talked about on the sheetrock part of the paint job, more sheetrock up here. But again, so far, not a ton of sheetrock. So the overall interior paint bill should be pretty minimal in here, which is great. Looks like we got a couple of bedrooms up here and a bathroom. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like just the unique shape of the window up there. That's pretty cool. So we got a second bedroom up here. Again, these will all be repainted. And then we are walking into our third bedroom right here. And again, all sheetrock. We'll do a full repaint in here. Another cool window, I love that. This space right here, I think, is just a great little common area where you could do a little office potentially, and you got cool views out the front of your house, or a secondary TV watching area, kids hang out. I don't know, this is just cool, and I love the view element here, just looking out those awesome windows. So something I want to talk to you about is the end sales price on this home. Like I mentioned, we bought this place for $800,000. This particular property is located in an area that is a little bit outside of my primary market. So it was a little bit more difficult for me to comp and basically come up with an ARV that I was super confident in. So I ended up consulting with a few realtors in the area, and to my surprise, they actually comped it quite a bit higher than I was originally anticipating, which ultimately kind of guided me the direction of pulling the trigger on this deal. I'm gonna get into those numbers in just a few, but before we do that, I do just wanna tour you the rest of the house. Let's go check out the basement, see what's going on down there. I think that's a pretty good tip for anybody who is flipping properties. I never consult with realtors on price valuations, probably because I just know my market so well and I've done so many deals in those areas. I consider myself the expert in most cases, but don't be bashful about reaching out to realtors to try to help with getting valuations on properties. Without reaching out for help on that, I might not have ended up pulling the trigger on this property because I was just uncertain and didn't have an exact value pegged. So let's go down and take a look at this basement here. Yeah, so this basement's pretty much all sheetrock. So, oh, what the hell? All right, that's not good. This is a little bit outside of the scope of work, but as you can see, there was like some piece of furniture here in this corner. I think I saw originally in the pictures, there was like a bar that sat right here. Really nice like piece of furniture and more so a fixture because the flooring apparently was built around it. Oh, man, okay. That kind of threw me for a loop a little bit there. I was not expecting, I mean, basically now we're gonna have to redo this entire floor because the likelihood that we can match this exact flooring in just this specific corner is pretty low. I mean, this house was built, I think it was early 2000s. So I mean, this is 20-year-old flooring. We're not gonna be able to match this. Oh my gosh, that's not good. Well, that's definitely something I wasn't expecting. And due to the size of this basement, that could be like a $3,000 to $5,000 change order that was unexpected. So, all right, back to this basement. Pretty awesome built-ins, as you can see. I like them at least, given the type of house it is, this big, gorgeous log house. I don't know, I just think the built-ins add a nice touch down here in the basement. Kind of a built-in TV center right here, which is great. And then I don't know if you caught this when I first walked down the stairs in the corner, but we got another beautiful fireplace down here too. So pretty cool house. I like the layout. Down here we also have one final full bathroom, and then can't really call this a bedroom. There is no egress, so we don't have any windows in the bedroom. We could frame in a closet there, but anytime you can add an additional bedroom, it is well worth the money spent. And what I mean by that is there's been times in the past where I've ran into bedrooms like this in the basement where there is no egress window. Depending on which wall is the exterior wall and what is underneath that, we could potentially install an egress window for around 5,000 bucks, and then you can market it. Instead of marketing this as a 3-bedroom house, I could market it as a 4-bedroom house. Let's run upstairs real quick and figure out where exactly this is. So the front door should be somewhere on this wall, kind of like directly in the middle here. So let's cruise upstairs. I don't know if that's going to be doable because I think there's a deck there, but let's go do a little discovery work here. Yeah, so again, master bedroom is in this corner. So unfortunately, no, unless we wanted to like tear out this deck, which this is a pretty nice expensive deck. And then the other side would be this right here. So technically, I mean, this is just a planter bed here, and I mean, I don't know. Technically, you could get an egress window in there. Obviously, it would eat into our nice landscaping here. I don't know, it's probably worth getting a bid on it at the very least though, figuring out if it would make sense to pop in an egress window there. So in this case, it's worth exploring. So like I mentioned, this property sits on 25 acres. It's a massive piece of land. And I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but we're sitting right here at an elevated position, and our property then goes off the hillside down this direction. So what we're gonna be doing is right off the side here is a pretty steep embankment. But if I can clear out a lot of these trees right here, I can open up an amazing view that'll then be basically, this house will have, call it rolling hill views, kind of valley views from not only the living room, the upstairs, this amazing deck. You'll be able to hang out here and just stare out over, basically overlooking your property and the surrounding mountains. It will be phenomenal. It's something that'll make people fall in love with the property. So anytime you have the ability to open up a view plane, it is dollars well spent. So in addition to the flooring and paint that I mentioned earlier in the video, we are gonna wanna spend some money in the kitchen and spice it up a bit. I think the best way we could do this is by doing new countertops and appliances. All the cabinetry and casework is in, I'd say, relatively good shape. I think there's a few hinges that need to be replaced, and then if we were to do countertops, backsplash, new appliances, I think this kitchen would pop pretty good. maybe spray some varnish or rub some varnish on the cabinetry just to freshen it up a bit. And I think this thing would look pretty amazing at that point. Okay, so let's go over the scope of work and some rough numbers on what that may cost. So I'd like to put around $10,000 into the kitchen. We discussed flooring. Obviously the basement, you definitely need flooring because there's flooring missing in areas. I also think we're just gonna need to do floors in this main area too, whether that's a refinish or just redo the floors completely, because in a lot of these high traffic areas, the floors are actually rougher than I thought they were gonna be. So another $10,000 in flooring throughout, and then paint. So we need to do interior paint. That's maybe 5,000 bucks. Like I mentioned, we don't have a ton of sheetrock, so we can get out of that pretty cheap. So that brings us to $25,000. The tree removal and opening up the view plane that I discussed with you earlier, that actually can be fairly expensive. Not only do you have to have someone come in to cut the trees, there's some pretty big trees out there. You also got to get rid of all the debris, whether it's pay them to just, you know, hang around and burn the piles or whatnot. So I'm budgeting $20,000 for tree removal and opening up that view plane and just kind of some other miscellaneous landscape items. And then I just have a $5,000 contingency in there for odds and ends. I'm sure there's gonna be some other little items that we wanna do to make this place pop. That basically puts us at $50,000, and we need to make sure that we do not go over that $50,000 number so we can remain profitable in this deal. With an $800,000 price point, $50,000 in repairs puts you into the property at $850. If you only end up selling it for $900, you're basically breaking even. I wasn't super excited on the deal in the beginning, but then, like I mentioned, I didn't know the area crazy well or crazy good. Talked to a handful of realtors about this product. Basically, what I found out is they're telling me my numbers were ultra conservative. They're telling me now that I can sell this place with what we just discussed in the scope of work, anywhere from 1.1 to 1.2 million. That would be an absolute massive, massive deal, as you can tell by the numbers I just gave you. I'm not betting on 1.2. I'm not even betting on 1.1, but I am betting on every bit of $1 million. So anything over $1 million would just be an added bonus. I would, of course, love to sell it for 1.1. But what I'm getting at is I'm trying to temper my expectations. On a deal like this, outside of your area, you never want to be too optimistic. You always want to be ultra conservative, or just don't do the deal. I'd rather not do a deal than potentially lose money on a deal. So if this thing ends up selling for what I've been quoted by a few of these different realtors, at $1 million, we are making a $150,000 gross profit. 1.2 would be about a $350,000 gross profit. I'd be shocked if it went anywhere in there, but my gut is telling me it's gonna sell between $1 million and $1.1 million. Only time will tell. And this type of product, I also think, is gonna take quite a bit of market time. We're just getting ready to go into the spring selling season, which usually you get a little bit higher premium in the spring selling season than you do in the dead of winter. We have a time of year going in our favor, which is something that you always need to factor in on a deal like this. We're gonna see where this thing lands. So guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because this is either gonna be one where we're either gonna win big, or it's gonna be one of those things where we go, wow, we wasted a lot of time, money, and resources, made no money. But I'm hoping it turns out to be a big win, obviously. So hit that subscribe button, follow along so you can see where this thing lands. All right, until next time, see ya.